bookstore was supposed to be a place where you could get all this stuff out.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, for one of the first places you came to was the black bookstores back then, because it was just part of the community.
Wow.
You know, if you wanted information, if you wanted to know where to go in the community, it was the black bookstore was part of that. And we wanted to become a part of it, which we did through Zawadi, but first through Zawadi Books and Crafts.
Okay.
Which we first became. And from there, we became Zawadi.
Okay.
And the bookstore was supposed to be a place where you could get all this stuff out.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, for one of the first places you came to was the black bookstores back then, because it was just part of the community.
Wow.
You know, if you wanted information, if you wanted to know where to go in the community, it was the black bookstore was part of that. And we wanted to become a part of it, which we did through Zawadi, but first through Zawadi Books and Crafts.
Okay.
Which we first became. And from there, we became Zawadi.
Being married and then having your relationship, but then also a business, because I want to know how that all kind of orchestrated.
Well, I'd say first we had similar interests.
Yeah.
Okay, we were both readers.
Awesome.
And we were both into this black arts movement, black cultural movement that was going on. And even after we had the children, we brought them right into the business tour.
Nice.
I mean, we would go different places, Pittsburgh, other places to set up, Albany, and we'd have strollers, kids, they sleeping under the table in the strollers, you know, to get out the sun. So they were a part of it. They kind of grew up in the business. So it was, like Kenneth has said, it was like a secondary job. I worked as a librarian, you know, so I already had this love of books and reading and the whole bit. So it's just kind of transferred over into that. And also, like he said, there was a network of people throughout the country that we, you know, made contact with. So we would go to conferences in D.C. or Chicago or New York, and all these black booksellers, we would get together and we'd talk about, you know, what the struggle was, how hard it was, you know, what was selling, what was not selling. Here's an idea. You know, we were playing off of that. So that made it a good relationship for us. But the thing about books have a limited markup. So it's not like selling clothing or selling food, you know, where you can pretty much put your price on them. Books come with a publisher who's already established the price.
And so going through with my husband, and my husband went into a coma. And this is when my worship really broke out. He went into a coma, and he wasn't able to talk to me for about 3 or 4 weeks. And I would just, you know, pray with him, sing with him. I would sit there and I would rub him and take care of him, and he would let the nurses do it, so I had to do it. So one day, I walked into the room. He's still in his coma, and then he began to sing a song. And I was like, wait a minute, he's supposed to be in a coma. Yeah. And so he began to sing a song about, your love is amazing, your love is amazing. He was singing to me. You proved your love to me once more, amazing is your love. So at that time, I'm like, he's in this coma. I called for the nurses and everything. I said, he's singing. They was like, no, he can't. He's in a deep coma. And I'm like, wait a minute. And my daughter was sitting there, and I was like, okay. They walked out the room. He began to sing it again. He says, I will ever show you my appreciation to you for your love. So he was loving on me, taking care of him. That point, that's when I began to jot those words down, okay, and put it on paper, because the nurses and the doctors didn't believe me. That was the beginning of my true relationship with God when it came down to worship.